Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by
Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
Oh, yeah. Sports Concepts and Rationalizations coming your way. It's a 10-minute drill. At the end of the drill, we give out a wonderful prize pack. Beef, what does that include today?
It's full of wonder. We're hooking up one lucky Guggen with a pair of tickets to the Jaguars preseason finale against the Atlanta Falcons.
Fantastic.
That'll come complete with passes to the Publix Ultimate Tailgate Party presented by Party Shack with food and beverage.
Yeah. I like it. Florida, Miami coming up on Saturday, Jeff. I was looking at the depth chart yesterday, and I know that Dan Mullen said there's a lot of ors, and you know, this player A or player B, which I get.
Have a dude named Player A this year.
But I got a player C here I'm wondering about. I'm wondering what kind of camp he's had, and he wears the number 1, so I thought he was going to be a big-time
We'll see Harvin's back.
Player for
T1 Rattlers.
the Gators this year. It's at one of the wide receiver spots. I have Josh Hammond or Freddie Swain or Kadarius Toney. Is Kadarius Toney on the outs down there? Is he really third string behind those guys? Is he fixing to get the one-gamer won't be available today because he's out?
He'll smoke the sweet stinky now.
Well, what's going on
if you don't keep an eye on him, he'll duck around that corner and fire it up.
What's going on with number 1? That was probably the most surprising thing on the depth chart.
I need to know. Do you have the depth chart pulled up?
I do. I can't really see it, but it's up.
Without the advantage of looking at the depth chart
you have
myself.
any glasses with you today?
I do have
Any
some
readers?
in my locker, but I don't really want to walk all the way over there right now after you started the show on such an antagonistic note.
I did.
Is he not listed on any of the other positions? In other words, on another wide receiver? Is
wide
he
receiver
second
spot number 2, I've got Tyree Cleveland or Trevon Grimes and Rick Wells behind them. And wide receiver number 3, I've got Van Jefferson and then Josh Copeland.
Jacob Copeland.
Again, I can't see.
Yeah.
Misreading it.
Wow, that is, I tell you what jumps out at me. That is a deep group, my man.
Oh, yeah.
That is a deep, talented group, and they love Copeland. Was he their highest recruit last year?
I think so.
Yeah, he's one of them. No, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if that means anything, Hick. I continue to be, a little bit disgruntled about the lack of playing time that Toney has gotten. Look, he's kind of a little dude. He may be injured more than you know. That has nothing to do with this depth chart per se.
Right.
But I think that unless there's a one-gamer looming, which could be, I don't know where you put him. Where should he be on that?
He should be ahead of Hammond and Swain. For sure.
Yeah. Who has more catches, Hammond or Toney in the last 2 years? I'd say Hammond.
Yeah.
May have more touchdowns, too. So I don't know. I don't know if this speaks to Kadarius Toney and if he's fallen off some. I
don't believe he's fallen off.
I don't either. I just don't know why he doesn't. There needs to be more for him. We've been talking about this for years.
Yeah.
Does Ezekiel Elliott have reason to be irked by Jerry Jones kind of, dismissing him? He did it, tongue in cheek, but he was asked after the game in L.A. where that backup running back scored a touchdown and had a good day, what that meant as far as the
46-40 Hammond over Toney last 2 years.
Yeah, I don't that's to me doesn't make a lot of sense. I think Toney's a lot better playmaker.
Yeah.
But I think the point there is Hammond and Swain have kind of stood the course and battled through 4 years, and they're good options. If Felipe Franks continues to grow and Dan Mullen has success in that year or two as he's had with other quarterbacks, with that group, sky could be the limit, but we'll see. There's a lot of other questions on that offense as well. Does Zeke Elliott have a reason to be kind of ticked off and to go back to Cabo because Jerry Jones said Zeke who when asked about the negotiations?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Let's, he could take a shot back if he wants. No. Come on. I mean, much ado about nothing. And for an agent to respond seems a little silly to me as well. So I think I wonder how long this is going to go, though. We're heading into preseason game number 3, and it's about here.
You know who this is murder on? Fantasy football drafts.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is with Le'Veon Bell. You did this last year.
If he skips 3 games and you pick him second or third.
And look at Le'Veon. He never played. And once one guy is willing to do that, it makes you wonder if others won't be as well.
Yeah.
You think the Raiders are already regretting the trade for Antonio Brown, or do you think the noise is really louder than the actuality out there once we get to the regular season?
Say again now?
Do you think the Raiders are regretting trading for Antonio Brown, or do you think the noise is probably just amplified and when we get to the regular season, they'll be just fine and dandy that they got him?
That's a great question. Do I think they're regretting it?
Was Mayock playing to the camera? Does he really feel that way? Why does a cynical part of me think he was grandstanding a little bit?
I think that they're not good enough yet as a team, so he makes them better. So they're probably a little more willing to put up with some of the shenanigans than other
Glad you
teams.
said shenanigans there. I didn't know where we were going.
Yeah. What did you think I was going to say?
I didn't think you would say that, but it's where it was headed.
Yeah. But anyway, so no, I don't think yet, but I think it can get old real quick. Like I think that one when Sunday happened and he walked out of camp again, I think that coach and GM looked at each other and were like, are you kidding me here? What are we doing? And this time we're going to respond, and let's at least do that. Again, Hard Knocks tonight. We'll see how much they cover it and how big a part it is on the program. But, I don't think quite yet it's DEFCON 1, but I do think it can get old real quick because everybody else is fine.
Maybe he burned his feet not in the cryogenics machine, but instead in a hot air balloon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he said, my toes are a little chilly. Mind if I put my feet up next to your burner?
Are the NBA rookies who are picking Cam Reddish to be the best
championships?
Is that because they're tired of Zion Williamson getting all the love and Zion Williams getting all the this and all the that, and they live through the Zion Williamson sort of
let me tell you why
hype, and it's like, are you kidding me?
I don't think that's it. I'll tell you why. Because Reddish wouldn't be the pick.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be some Williamson vote in there. What Dan is talking about, every year the rookies in the NBA are polled, and they're asked a variety of questions. And one of the questions is which member of the rookie
of the best career
will have the best career.
Yeah.
Not who will be the rookie of the year. They did vote Williamson for that.
Williamson only got 5% of the vote.
But Cam Reddish, who was the 10th pick, who wasn't even the Hawks' first pick in the first round, was the one that was named by them. I think that speaks to these guys all playing together for the last 10 years, right? And they love Reddish.
I think.
By the way,
I think it speaks to the budding powerhouse the Hawks are building when the Cam Reddish is first and DeAndre Hunter is third in that vote. Another Hawk.
See you in the finals.
Is DeAndre Hunter a Hawk? Yeah, he got 11%.
I know.
He's
third.
Kobe White got 5% of the vote. Let me tell you, Kobe White ain't going to have a great
first
career.
and third.
First and third. Here come the Hawks. So anyway,
you guys laugh. We've already got the future and Trae Young. We're going to blow right by your two sagging franchises. You'll be once again looking up the soaring feathers of the Atlanta Hawks.
They're going to blow right by us to 41 wins. Watch out. Just ask the question, that's all. That's all I was doing, is simply asking a question and expecting an answer.
Wow, what was the question again?
I'm done with it.
Oh, yeah, 'cause I lost a sight in there somewhere of the question.
Yes.
All right.
Do you have any more questions?
Of course I do.
Well,
I mean, who are you talking to
Let's
here?
go. Crank it up.
Once again, it's the AP poll release, and Clemson and Alabama are at the top. Dan, this is not happening.
It's the same as the coaches poll, right?
Yeah.
I mean, exact same top 10. Yeah.
This is not happening in our lifetime. It's just getting old. What are we doing here? I mean,
it's Golden State, Cleveland.
Tell me how it's not going to be Have you looked at the schedule for Alabama, Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be in the Final Four. And once they get there, Nick Saban's coaching expertise and experience, unless he matches up with Dabo and Clemson in the first round of the postseason, are we not headed for yet another Alabama-Clemson title game? And if we are, am I okay to start getting tired of that?
You're more than okay to start getting tired of it. We probably are headed towards another one. The situation is, though, it'll be a Final Four, so they could be on opposite sides, and maybe one of them gets knocked off. I think the other two teams that make the Final Four, whoever they may be, are more than capable of beating Alabama and or Clemson. And I think if the voters get the poll right and put the right 4 teams in there, it'll be better. You can't sometimes, because we're still in the poll and not a playoff, we pick the pollsters pick the 4 teams that they think are the most deserving, as opposed to picking the 4 teams that will be the 4 best teams. In other words, there could be a team that has 2 or 3 losses that we've watched that's just played a murderer's row schedule that deserves to be in there, who would play Clemson or Bama tougher than, and I guess.
Well, Georgia's a good example.
Yeah, Notre Dame getting in last year, right? And they got
Georgia
beat.
would have done better against Clemson than Notre Dame did.
Correct.
They could have played tougher. And
Notre Dame,
they don't have
Notre Dame was more deserving, but Georgia was better.
And at some point in this whole process.
And that's what we get into because it's still a poll.
You got to, and again, that's subjective.
I'm glad you finally agree with me on that.
Well, no, you're guessing that Georgia is better there, but at the end of the day, Georgia has proven they weren't beating either one of those teams either. So whether or not it's Notre Dame or Georgia.
Maybe not 30-3 boring yawn, though.
Maybe, that's true. But, I don't know. I'm ready for 8 or 16. Or
8 would be fine. But one from all the Power Fives, bonus or 6 even. One from all the Power Fives and the UCF or Boise, whoever the outside Power 5 team is, and away we go. And then you can have the 2 take a bye, you play it off, boom, boom, we're done. Let's go. It's not that hard.
I have one offshoot question.
And they'll do it eventually. But Gators, by the way, came in 8th in the poll, so haven't been in the top 10, in like 10 years. So it's a positive step. Positive step for Florida. Can they build off it? We shall see starting Saturday.
Well, and there's also this whole, college football is still a sport where many coaches in year 2 make that jump from good to great. The 2 at Florida beforehand did. Steve Spurrier in 1991, his second year, won the Sugar Bowl, won the SEC, beat top 5 FSU in the season finale, surged to greatness in year 2. Urban won the national title in year 2.
Are you suggesting this could be the year?
No, I'm suggesting that
something special is brewing in Gainesville.
No,
I like it.
And it might be, but if they go 9-3, that's a problem. He's got too good a team to go 9-3.
Oh.
If you're going to be great, I don't need to hear about they play Auburn and all this shit. Yeah, they play those teams every year.
Yeah.
So did Urban. So did Spurrier. So does Saban.
Oh, I like the names.
So does Kirby Smith-Smart.
Yes.
Who would you say?
I don't think Kirby Smith-Smart plays him this year. He looks like he has a pretty good schedule.
I'm going to ask you one offshoot question as we go to break here. If you could take any one receiver over the last, 8 to 10 years, who would it be? And today even. Who's the best receiver in the NFL? Not who had the most catches last year or the most touchdowns 4 years ago, but I say, Dan, you can have any receiver right now and put him on the Jaguars. Who would you take?
Ooh. Any receiver right now?
Yeah. Antonio Brown, by the way, is off all the lists because he's just lost his rocker. He's been as productive as anyone.
He's a great receiver.
Yeah, he's a great receiver. But, who would it be?
It's so hard to pick just one. So many come to mind. It could be DeAndre Hopkins, could be Julio Jones, could be Tyreek Hill, could be Juju based on.
I'm going longer than like a year or two, though. Although, I did say if it were today, but I'm saying
to
factor in what they've done.
I'm trying to get a younger guy. The only reason why I would shy away from Julio, seems to be up there every year, is the age, right? How old is he?
I bet he's not as old as you think.
No? He's 30.
He turned 30 in February.
Yeah, he's 30.
So he'll play the whole year at 30.
He had 113 catches last year. He had his second best year. He had 136 catches one year.
Yeah. In 8 years, he's been a 6-time Pro Bowler.
The only thing about Julio, too, is he doesn't score touchdowns for some odd reason.
Yeah.
He ended up with 8 last year, but didn't he have remember we went a long time where.
Yeah, he had 3 the year before. He's had years where he hadn't scored a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah. Well, 1 year, double digits, 10.
Michael Thomas is awful good.
Yeah.
It's hard to sometimes differentiate between teams that are more pass happy and others aren't. But I would say that the Saints and Falcons employ a similar strategy.
Yeah.
They're going to run to a couple of backs. They're going to throw it, to their best player.
What about Odell Beckham?
Yeah, he's been good for sure.
It's
not fantasy football, though. I don't think do catches lead to touchdowns on drives? I don't really care so much if I'm not playing fantasy football who's scoring the touchdown.
Oh, sure.
Right? So Julio Jones, 8 touchdowns. When you have 113 catch for 1677, are you better if you had 13 touchdowns? Maybe you are. Anyway, all right, that's 10-minute drill. Hick, throw a number out there. What's your favorite number today?
My favorite number today is 5.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
As in caller number 5. You want to go to the Jags game next week?
Thought you were referencing Mr. Tennessee there for a second.
No, that would be 5.0. We will reward you a couple of ducats. And what else, Beef?
The couple ducats comes complete with access to the Publix Ultimate Tailgate Party presented by Party Shack.